Exactly as predicted. Yes, I'm saying it. So, what happened? Well, like we said in yesterday's video, we've hit actually the CME gap, which was formed around $111,000 right here. Let me zoom out a bit and show you guys. We've obviously formed the CME gap right here at 111 approximately, and we've now filled that gap, like I said in yesterday's video, which was around 111. And I think now that we found support, it's also good to see the bounce from here and see that we are not going down, but looks like we are starting to go up again. And quickly wanted to mention that there are no open CME gaps at the moment in the short term, so that's good news, especially there's no CME gaps at the bottom. Now, if we look at Bitcoin here on the, let me go on the daily chart actually. On the daily, what I want to point out is these major support and resistance bands. And I always like to look at Bitcoin and some coins on a larger time frame, because on the shorter time frame there's a lot of noise, right? There's a lot of up and down. But let's look at these coins on a larger time frame, and this way there's more likely that we are not gonna make mistakes from these noisy trades. Okay, so what we can see is that we are still above this major support line, right? We've bounced from here and then we've bounced again a few times, and now it looks like we're still above. And the moment I think we're in a bear market is when we have a confirmed daily close below this support line, which is around about 111,000. And yes, I know today we've actually gone slightly below, but the moment I think we might go into a bear market is when we have a daily close below this, right? And a daily close, this is a very simple candle bar I'm drawing here, is simply if we can confirm here the close below the line. And here we obviously just wicked down and we went up again quickly, so we're all good. And this support and resistance line is usually very accurate, right? Here, if we go back a bit, we've had in February, we've gone below this support line. At the moment we broke below, we've actually gone down for a couple of weeks, and this was obviously a slight bear period, right? And then if we go back a bit more, we've had this major resistance played out over a very long time frame. It played out over 226 days, and the moment we broke above it here in October of 2024, we've actually started to go higher and then made a new all-time high, right? So that's something I want you guys to know. Just zoom out a bit on the larger time frames, and we can see that we're still above the line, we're still in an uptrend, so things are still positive for us. And one thing I want to note out though is the halving cycles, right? The moment I think we are going to go into bear market is usually 80 weeks after the halving, and 80 weeks after the halving is here at the end of the green lines. And we are coming very close to that now. I didn't open this chart for a couple of days, but end of this month, beginning of next month is 80 weeks after the halving, which is statistically when we are going to a bear market, right? Let's go to the last cycle, and we can see here, if I remove this drawing, that 80 weeks after the halving, here we go, we've entered a bear market, okay? And if we go back to the cycle before that, also approximately 80 weeks is obviously just an average. Approximately around that time, we enter a bear market. And if I go back to Bitcoin, I want to also show that we are still above the bull and bear market support bands here. Let me go into the daily. We are still above the bull and bear market support bands, and that is good to know. Usually if we break below these, we enter a bear market. Also, global liquidity usually tells us in which direction we're going, and global liquidity is usually ahead of us, right? We usually follow global liquidity, so we can see that it's still going up, and I think Bitcoin will follow that liquidity. And where do I think we can go to, or at what point can we say that we go into a bear market? Well, firstly, we break below these bull and bear market support bands, and on top of that, we go below daily close below 111, and I see some major resistance right here around about, here we go, at around about $99,000, $98,000 per Bitcoin. If we go below that, I think we might enter a bear market for sure if we have all of these play together. Let's look quickly at Ethereum. So Ethereum looks very good for me, and Ethereum is always in a bull flag pattern right now, and these usually tend to break out bullish bull flag patterns like this and then tend to go higher. I still see promise in Ethereum. If we take the target, we can quickly take it right here and put it at the breakout point, and this would give us a target of all the way up here at around $8,300. It's just for illustrative purposes. I'm trying to say that I think we are going higher, and Ethereum looks like it's also bouncing here from the bull and bear market support bands right here. So good news on this front as well. And with that being said, see you guys tomorrow. Bye.